Hello and welcome to another episode of Lights Camera Akron. I'm your host, Leah Gombosch.
And I'm Ryan Block. Thank you for tuning into LCA Live on ZTV.
We have a lot of things in store for you all this episode, one of which is a dance marathon that happened last month called Zippython.
You covered that, right? Looks like we're up to a great start with our first segment. Let's watch.
Dance Marathon is a national organization and movement across the nation that provides financial support for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Since it was created in 1991, the organization has raised over $300 million and expanded to over 400 programs across the country, one of which is located at the University of Akron. Known as Zippython, Akron's Dance Marathon has been raising money for Akron Children's Hospital since 2014. I was able to sit down with Brittany Costa, who is Zippython's hospital advisor and the Children's Miracle Network program manager and corporate alliance officer at Akron Children's Hospital. She was able to provide more information about the national program and its impact on those it assists and its participants.
Dance Marathon is really a nationwide movement that raises money for children's hospitals around the country. So raising awareness and funds and acting as a leadership organization. So not only do the students obviously raise the much needed funds and awareness for the hospitals, but they can gain experiences in leadership, in running a committee, in talking to the president's office or working with the president's office at different universities and kind of mentoring the high school dance marathons. So it is an all-encompassing, I would say, leadership organization that raises funds and awareness.
Aside from Akron's program, dance marathons all across Northeast Ohio also raise funds year-round for Akron Children's. These other organizations include Kent State University's Splashathon, Youngstown State University's Gwinathon, along with various high school dance marathons. Despite these other organizations and their efforts to provide financial assistance, Brittany noted the traits specific to Zippython that set them apart.
Currently, Zippython is the only program that we have that is working through a strategic plan. Things were obviously derailed a little bit for a couple of years there, but that strategic plan is always in the minds of the students, I would say, as well as my mind and our national office's mind. But being able to walk students through that experience of, like I said, the leadership organization, but thinking about strategy.
It is this strategic plan that has allowed the student-led program to achieve the level of success it has reached in recent years. Despite the pandemic forcing the organization to move their big event online for the last 2 years, the Dance Marathon has still managed to raise over $38,000 for the hospital since the start of 2020. Brittany explained that the hospital uses a majority of the donations raised to help their general fund, which benefits the area of greatest need within the hospital. She noted that recently, most of Zippython's contribution was used to fund a security and therapy dog named Chase. However, the impact this program leaves on the hospital is not always as easy to see.
In the foundation, we are always hearing that, we need as much money as possible to go into that general fund. Obviously, it's a little more simple to pinpoint the impact of something like funding Chase or the hematology oncology department with their adolescent and young adult programs or research and things along those lines. But the impact, I would say, of that general fund, those dollars, is really just helping us keep our promise.
The hospital treats every child in need of assistance that walks through their doors, regardless of their family's ability to pay. One of the main focuses of any dance marathon is to provide emotional and financial support by alleviating the burden associated with financial hardship as a result of medical bills. These organizations refer to the families and children they help as their miracle families, or more specifically, their miracle kids.
I know I hear testimonies all the time from families just talking about how awesome they think that the college students are and how they're, sacrificing a Saturday to stand for the kids, and how the miracle kiddos themselves just look up to the students so much. Like, to be able to hear a miracle child talk about how, like, I can't wait to go to dance marathon and hang out with my friends and things like that they may have met, one other time. So I would say helping them kind of feel extra special and a little bit like rock stars.
Despite Zippython being a new organization on Akron's campus, they continue to grow each year, topping their previous fundraising goals and continuing to persevere despite the hardships. Brittany hopes that the organization is able to resume hosting in-person events in the coming year in order to establish a more prominent presence on campus. Because of the organization, nearly $70,000 has been donated to the hospital since 2019, a number that will only continue to grow as the program continues to gain traction. Leah Gombosh, Lights Camera Akron, ZTV.
That was cool. I love finding out what's going on around campus. You never know anymore because of the pandemic.
I know, right? But the university has creative ways to get students involved, like Campus Focus that you covered in the chapel in Akron, right?
That's right. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Well, your wait is over. Here it is.
Connecting people to God, the tagline of Campus Focus, the college-age ministry of the chapel here in Akron. Campus Focus is a beacon of hope for many attending universities across Northeast Ohio. I got to talk to Monica Murphy, the assistant director of Campus Focus, who told me a little bit about what Campus Focus is.
Campus Focus is the college ministry of the chapel. We are designed with college students in mind, whether they go to the University of Akron, Kent State, Stark State, just designed for college students to do life together and come worship God, hear from the Word, just worship and be in community together.
Like many ministries, COVID-19 had a large impact on Campus Focus operations, even having to convert to completely online services back in March 2020 to protect everyone from the spreading virus. Campus Focus is a story of how a group of ministry-oriented individuals come together to overcome the adversity of a global pandemic and rise to give hope to some of the most hopeless individuals around, college students. With many students in turmoil from college classes, career prospects, social pressures, and the future in general, Campus Focus offers hope through Jesus. Dan Cooper, the pastor that heads up Campus Focus, states that we are unapologetic about the cause we gather under, the gospel of Christ Jesus. Of course, the pandemic was a big obstacle for this group of believers. Despite the exception for religious organizations in the statewide lockdown order, Campus Focus knew the importance of safety within a campus community. They made sure to follow all regulations and still require mask wearing and social distancing at Campus Focus related functions.
So with COVID, we had to socially distance and wear masks, of course, and with small groups, we weren't able to meet in our normal location, so we had to move into homes of our small group leaders.
With restrictions in place, Campus Focus meets once a week as a large group on Thursdays at 7:30 at the chapel across from Olin Hall.
A typical Thursday night starts at 7:30 p.m. in our worship center, and you'll come, hear announcements, worship God, you'll hear a teaching from the Bible, spend some time in prayer, and just fellowship with one another.
And they meet in small groups throughout the week to discuss what was taught the week prior more in depth. They grow tight-knit communities and form deep friendships in these small groups throughout the week.
I think something that's been cool that COVID kind of sparked was meeting in the homes in Akron. I think meeting outside of a church has allowed those barriers just to come down and people to be vulnerable and real and honest about what they're struggling with and how COVID has impacted them.
And new members are always encouraged and invited to join a small group or come on Thursday nights. Pre-pandemic, groups would often go to the rec, hang at their favorite restaurants, and serve the local community. Because of the pandemic, they have had to find new ways to hang out and build community. Perhaps the most interesting part of Campus Focus is the openness to all types of people. Campus Focus sees a wide variety of people in attendance, Christians, atheists, and everyone in between. They see college students from all walks of life and systems of belief. Campus Focus wants to be a place where people can ask difficult questions while feeling the love Jesus has for them.
What makes Campus Focus a special place is that it is designed for college students, so whether you're an atheist or a devout follower of Jesus or anywhere in between, it's a safe and welcoming place for you to come, ask questions, and just learn and grow alongside people your own age.
A growing and great group of people, Campus Focus welcomes all. Campus Focus loves others. Whoever you meet when you walk in the doors will certainly welcome and love you as you are and help lead you to who and with whom you're meant to be. An often overlooked group, I wanted to shed some light on those working to help it.
Okay. What defines Campus Focus is that our tagline is as simple as connecting people to God, and we're focused on campus college students, whether it's from Akron or Kent or Stark, whatever walks of life, whether different experiences, beliefs they're coming with. We are a warm and welcoming community that welcomes all college-age students.
This is Ryan Block reporting for Lights, Camera, Akron.
They do a lot for college students. I'm glad there is a place where students can express their faith.
Me too. I would feel welcome there any day, not just Sunday. Well, it's time for our first commercial break. LCA will be right back.
We need to break into the vault and steal the Akron After Hours episodes and broadcast them from the comm tower on the roof.
Welcome back to LCA, everyone. We got word of another story while you were away.
We sure did. The University of Akron is halting its vaccination clinics in response to CDC warnings of potential life-threatening side effects.
6 reports of blood clots have risen in those who have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine this month. Reporter Maddie Rao spoke to her sister, who was a pharmacist, for more information. Take it away, Maddie.
So, vaccine rollout's been going pretty well, but recently there's been some concern over the Johnson & Johnson version. So much concern that the university put a halt to their rollout clinics. I decided to talk to my sister, an up-and-coming pharmacist, to get the facts.
Hi, my name is Hannah Rowell. I'm a doctorate of pharmacy student at the University of Toledo, and I've been working in the community pharmacy setting for a little over 2 years now. Over the past few months, I participated in numerous COVID vaccination clinics, so I'm working to protect our community every weekend and also at work. And over the summer last year, I participated in an 8-week vaccine information course where I learned about all of the different vaccines that are recommended for you and how they work.
Right now, a lot of people are scared of getting vaccinated. I want to know, how do these vaccines work? What's the process? Here's what goes on with the 2-dose vaccines.
So with the 2-dose vaccines that we see for coronavirus right now, which are produced by Pfizer and Moderna, it's almost as if I gave your body a blueprint for making the COVID vaccine, but I only ripped off a tiny corner and I gave you that piece. That little piece is only going to code for making something similar to the spike protein on the coronavirus. So once you get the injection, your body will code the mRNA, the messenger RNA, and produce something basically identical to just the spike on the coronavirus. So your body will produce those spikes, not the entire virus. And once those spikes have been produced, the antigens in your body are going to freak out. You're going to have an immune response because there's something foreign. They don't like it. So your body will produce antibodies for that. And that way, when the actual coronavirus is in your system, your body recognizes those proteins from last time and you can protect yourself against it.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is a bit different than those. It's more similar to the flu shots we get every year.
The one that we're seeing now with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is a viral vector vaccine. So we deliver little subunits of the vaccine protein into your body by inserting it into a safe version of the virus. So you're not getting infected with the actual coronavirus, you're just getting a little portion that your body will recognize in the event you are infected with COVID-19.
With that said, I want to know more about the reported complications with the J&J vaccine. I wanted to get a scientific opinion on these because, probably like you, I'm not really sure what to think.
Right now, we've had over 6.8 million doses of Johnson & Johnson delivered in the United States. And we've had 6 cases of blood clots related to those vaccines, possibly. So they were all younger women, and they all had symptoms within 6 to 13 days after getting the vaccine. So the CDC and the FDA are just taking a little bit of time to look further into that and discuss if the vaccine is actually related to those blood clots and if it's something they should be concerned about with withdrawing the vaccine from the market. It's a preventative measure. They're just trying to make sure that there isn't a risk that they're putting anybody at, but 6 cases out of 6.8 million doses, there's a higher chance of getting blood clots from birth control pills, from smoking, from contracting COVID-19 itself. So it's not something I would be worried about if you've already been vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. There are some side effects you can look out for if you're concerned about that. Side effects of a blood clot would normally be a very severe headache, abdominal pain, leg pain, shortness of breath, and you're looking for those within 3 weeks of getting vaccinated. So if you show any of those symptoms, I'd reach out to your healthcare provider and let them know, but it's not something I would expect the majority of the population to be affected by.
So, chances are, most likely the single-dose vaccine won't hurt you. All of these vaccines are still in what's called phase 4 of testing. In the first 3 phases, the vaccines are tested relentlessly on smaller populations. And now in phase 4, they're monitoring the situation with a larger population. Every side effect is reported, so there's no reason to be scared. Along with getting vaccinated, my sister recommends that you keep your vaccine card, just in case we need yearly booster shots. I feel a lot better after learning about this stuff. I hope you feel better too. This is Madison Rowell on Lights Camera Akron, ZTV.
Wow, that is a scary thing for sure, and a smart move by UA.
I know, right? Thank goodness we have the FDA and CDC looking so closely at it and expressing extreme caution like they have been.
Agreed. In other news, reporter Tyrese West went to a fashion show last week put on by Fashion and Professionals United, or FAPU, a student org here on campus. It sounds epic. Let's see if he strikes a pose.
Thank you, Ryan and Leah. Fashion and Professionals United presented the Vintage Dreams Fashion Show on Saturday, April 10th. I saw many interesting styles along with some familiar faces at this show. A function like this is rare because of pandemic guidelines. However, that did not seem to stop the show from going on. This was all orchestrated by Fashion and Professionals United, a student organization here on campus. The president of Fashion and Professionals United, Miss Mylia Thomas.
So my name is Mylia Thomas. I am 22 years old. My major is exercise science with a concentration of strength and conditioning. I minor in dance as well. And my association with FAPU, which is Fashion and Professionals United, is that I am the president.
She has taken the role of president very seriously, though it came with some complications.
When I became president, I had to deal with so much. Probation, this rule, this guideline, new advisors, going through that whole process, and that can be pretty stressful on a student who already has so much going on for themselves.
Nothing that she wasn't prepared to handle. She took her passion and reshaped the program to her standard. She was able to bring this event to life for the 3rd year. She gives me some insight about the process and what it was like to work in an environment like this.
It took about 3 months to coordinate everything. I was backstage yelling and screaming everyone's names out and go ladies and all of that, just to give them even more, even more influence on that energy.
Mylia says that every student on campus deserves a place where they can express themselves, which is exactly what this event did.
It was very intimate, and I think I like that aspect of it because it made the models and dancers feel comfortable with the performance. It just felt like they were at home.
FAPU showcased local designers and their original lines. The designs were worn by professional and upcoming models alike.
Fashion and Professionals United is here to encourage local designers to get their brand out there, and same with models and dancers is to encourage them to, get out of their comfort zone and become something that they want to be.
The show itself felt like less of a fashion show and more of a performance. Energetic dance breaks in between sets, commentary and jokes from hosts, and even a performance from a local artist. Truly, this was an event for everyone.
You love seeing the dancers come out, and that is something that Fashion and Professionals United has always held, was that the dancers always came through with that energy that was needed. Because it's nice to see, those models walk and see their creativity, but it's like it's only so much energy you could put into a walk.
From suave and comfortable clothing to one-of-a-kind hand-woven pieces, even sportswear and some other things that are, shall I say, not safe for work. They even had a set dedicated to expressing solidarity in the Asian community after the recent uproar of anti-Asian violence.
Just, advocating for them as well. So that was something that I thought was very powerful. It was just exciting to sit back and watch how everything that you put in unfold.
I also got first-person insight on what it was like to walk on stage from a friend of mine who was one of the models walking the runway. Her name is Trinity Smith, and she is a communication major at Walsh University.
I was very nervous to audition just because I really didn't know the atmosphere. I'm kind of shy and I kind of keep to myself, and I've always kind of been insecure, to be honest, about my height because everyone was always shorter than me, and I'm a girl, so I was always taller than everyone else. So when I got there, seeing a bunch of tall, beautiful women wearing heels and being even taller really helped me with my confidence.
She reflects on her experience on the runway and how modeling has impacted her life.
Doing all that training, I feel like I've grown more confident as a person, and I feel more able to express myself in my body, and I feel like that was really the impact of FAPU.
Whether in front or behind a camera, she is not afraid to be herself. Trinity hopes to use her modeling escapades to encourage others to be themselves as well.
And I would really suggest it to anyone, especially if you are a young woman or, even a male or identifying as either, really just to get out there. And even if you don't think that modeling is for you, it's definitely a way to just express yourself or put yourself in a different pair of shoes. So, you don't have to be you when you're on the stage. You can be whoever you want to be. There's tons of things. Like, since I've gotten into modeling, there's so many things going on. So you just got to kind of look for it. And if you really want to do it, or if you're scared to do it and you just want to see, just try it. Because 9 times out of the 10, people are going to be nice and people are going to help you and help you grow. And that's what it's all about, really. So
She even let me get a couple of shots of her. And might I say, she is very photogenic. This show meant more to Papu than just a seasonal event. It had purpose, and its success represented the hard work of the students who coordinated it. Black is beautiful in every facet, and that message was delivered in this show. Tyrese West, Lights, Camera, Akron, ZTV.
I think I need some new clothes, especially after seeing that. So much energy.
You said it. Well, everyone, we are getting down to the last segments of the show.
Indeed we are. And we've got some important news for gun owners in Ohio. Governor Mike DeWine signed a new Stand Your Ground law into action at the beginning of April.
Ohio has joined the list of states that have this law in place, hoping to increase the right to self-defense in dangerous situations.
Reporter Brian Crace has more on the subject. Brian?
The state of Ohio's rules for using deadly force have officially changed. Earlier this month, a new law was passed which gives protections to Ohioans in life-threatening situations. Various self-defense rights were granted back in 2008, which applied to the inside of homes and cars, but now, this Stand Your Ground law has taken away the legal requirement that people try to retreat in public situations before using deadly force. Naturally, this change has been divisive, with supporters saying the law gives much-needed protection to people caught in life-threatening situations, while opponents argue the law decreases the safety of people of color in particular and increases the number of gun deaths in America. One thing that hasn't changed, however, is that a standard must be met and proven before lethal force can be used. The standard in question is as follows. 1. A person must have the legal right to be wherever they are. 2. They can't be the one who started the altercation. And 3. They have to fear for their life or serious bodily injury, and must be able to articulate why they felt this way. In other words, this law does not give Ohioans the right to shoot and ask questions later. This standard has been much criticized, particularly the component about fearing for one's life. Opponents to the law feel this is too subjective and will be too hard to prove in court. Another criticism is that it will encourage confrontation rather than force people to find other, less violent ways out of situations. Conversely, many supporters of the law believe that, with proper training, gun owners could learn to de-escalate or altogether avoid violent situations, leaving lethal force as a last, drastic safety measure. On the subject of training, Representative Dontavius Gerals of Columbus is working with community leaders in his district to explain how the new law works, stating publicly, quote, "In my district, we've seen a large number of shootings and violence. I think about the increased number of incidents that are likely to happen now. I want to make sure my constituents understand the magnitude of this legislation on their lives." Gerals later added, quote, "Perception is power, and people don't understand the specifics of Stand Your Ground. They just hear the words and take a meaning from them. We're creating a space where the perception of this law could lead to violence." The level of effectiveness of Stand Your Ground laws in other states is varied, and it remains to be seen how this new change will impact Ohio specifically. Citizens are encouraged to do their own research into this law, to, as Gerals alluded to, gain a better understanding of what exactly Stand Your Ground means. The proper knowledge, combined with the law itself, could hopefully lead to less violence in the long term. This is Brian Crace reporting for Lights, Camera, Akron.
Recap.
Well, we're about to the end of the show. We've seen a lot. Campus Focus, fashion shows, all of that good stuff.
Lots of dance marathons going on campus, along with other fun activities.
Yes, this is our first live show for the semester. Glad you guys can make it out to watch it.
Well, it looks like that's all we have time for in today's episode.
Yes, be sure to get us on all the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at ZTV-LCA for the latest news.
Lots of great places to catch us and stay up to date with everything that LCA and ZTV is doing.
Of course.
I'm Leah Gombosch.
I'm Ryan Block.
And thank you guys so much for joining us on our first live show.
It's been great. We love having you guys here so much. We have a great team going on. And what else, Leah?
We were able to see a lot of great things during this show. Like we already said, we can't wait to have you guys back to see all of our shows for the future.
How about that fashion show?
That was really great.
I had no idea there was a fashion show on campus.
Neither did I. There was a lot of great energy and a lot of great pieces to see during that show. What did you think about it?
Well, it was pretty interesting for me to see. Just that a student org could put that on, and Tyrese found out about it and went out to see it.
I agree. That was really cool. What were your thoughts for the campus's dance marathon for Zippython?
Dance marathon. I kind of wish I was a part of that. I wish I would have known about it.
There's a lot of really great ways to get involved with Dance Marathon, actually, and a lot of other student organizations that you can get involved in on campus, too. A lot of it's just keeping up to date with everything that the university sends out to us.
Yeah, check out our other episodes on YouTube. We have plenty of information about the other things you can get involved with.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV. Make media, make a difference.
ZTV is the University of Akron student-led television station.
ZTV is one of the most collaborative places on campus.
ZTV, to me, is a place that brings people together.
It is a great way to gain professional experience.
It's my creative outlet. It's where I go to have fun and create media.
ZTV is like a playground for creativity. My place to come where I'm actually good at something.
ZTV.
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 ZTV. Make media, make a difference.
To learn how to join ZTV and gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients, visit the School of Communications online or follow us on our social medias.
Wanted to see me one?
Look, Nick. Brendan tried it. Jared tried it. Kyle tried it. Drew tried it. Not enough. I need you to get me the nerdiest group of people you can find.
I think I know some people.